Well, more national news. The government is mulling whether items distributed for free under the public distribution system should be included in the new consumer price index basket. It has floated a discussion paper inviting stakeholders' comments till the 15th of January. Sapna Das joining us now with more details. Sapna.
Well, this is a discussion paper that has been doing the rounds for quite some time, and now that it's public, it has a lot of importance for the way probably inflation will be calculated in the times to come. Though, of course, this is only going to be applicable for the new CPI series, which is only going to roll out in the last quarter of FY26. So that's a caveat that we need to keep in mind. But nevertheless, some interesting propositions have been made, and this is a discussion paper by Mulls, which basically says that since the new CPI series are likely to come out, or rather work is on the new CPI series, and 2024 is going to be the new base year, is what the discussion paper says very clearly. It questions the fact whether the PDS items, or rather free food grains particularly, should they be included in the CPI basket or not? That's the question that is being raised, and comments have been invited here till 15th of Jan. Very quickly, what are the options that the government is talking about? Number one, of course, is the inclusion of PDS items into the CPI basket, on a zero price, wherein the weights can be adjusted with a later update. That's one. The other two options that it talks about, of course, these first with the current series, which is basically you do not have the PDS items which are covered, because once they became free as per the international definitions, once it's free, it doesn't have an impact on inflation. There's nothing that the consumer is paying, and hence it's not part of the inflation index, is what the international definition says, and that's what the government followed over here, and hence it's not part of the CPI basket. But what happened was that those weights were redistributed, in the same class and section of, say, example, cereals and other important products. So what happened was that there was a temporary spike in inflation. The third option that we're talking about is, again, not including the PDS items. However, again, the weights being redistributed among all the items in the CPI basket. So I think it's the first one that we are talking about here. That's where the government is keen, because they think that will really help to bring the headline inflation number down. CA has been talking about it since quite some time, that the PDS market is pretty large, and the way the free food grain distribution has happened, it is not reflected enough in bringing inflation numbers down. So probably this is something that they'll have to keep in mind. Of course, we have to watch out what those comments are going to be by 15 Jan. And of course, this rolls out only sometime in the last quarter of FY26.
Right, Sapna, thanks so much for that.